Exceptions to the law of demand. So I explained you what exception means. Some goods and under some circumstances, right? Exceptions to the law of demand is heading. Some goods under some circumstances, the law of demand does not work. That is, with rise in price of a good, its demand either does not change or demand also rises, and vice versa. So there are two situations of exceptions to the law of demand. When price rises, demand does not change. What law of demand says is that when price rises, demand should also fall, right? But it is not falling, it is not changing. And two, price is rising, but at the same time, demand is also rising, right? This may also happen. So both these are the exceptions to the law of demand. Have you got me what I said, guys? Following are such goods and circumstances. So, guys, note down this much and then we go ahead. This is vice versa. Vice versa means there is fall in price of a commodity, but the demand does not change or demand also falls. And in either case, the law of demand does not work. Am I clear? So the first type of goods are necessities. We have talked about necessities earlier also when I explained you individual function of demand in which we understood the relationship of consumers' income and demand. And there the first type of good was necessities. Your faces are showing that you have not gone through that again after I taught you this. Right? Please do not do this, guys. There I explained you that consumers' income does not affect demand of necessities at all. Whether my income reduces or increases, I will consume same quantity of salt, water, and life-saving drugs which doctor has prescribed me. With increase in my income, I will not start consuming more of medicines, more of salt, and more of water because these three are necessities in my life. I will consume them as much as I require them, irrespective of change in my income. The same is with the price. Whether prices of these goods, necessity goods, that is water, salt, and life saving drugs, change or not, I will consume the same quantity of these three things because these are must for me. If I do not consume them, I cannot live, I cannot survive. Am I clear, guys, or not? It means necessities, demand of necessities does not get affected with change in their prices. बोलिए. नहीं होता बाहर रीच क्योंकि सॉल्ट बहुत सस्ता प्रोडक्ट है मैं उस पर टैक्स नहीं लगता है. कितना बढ़ेगा? नहीं नहीं ऐसे नहीं नहीं पर एग्जाम्पल हम हाइपोथेटिकल एग्जाम्पल नहीं सोच सकते हैं ना. हमको रियल एग्जाम्पल सोचना पड़ेगा. Salt is needed for our body biologically. We can live without sugar, but we cannot live without salt. And that is why government does not, and it also has national importance. Mahatma Gandhi did right Gandhi March for that. It echoes, the room echoes too much. Yeah. Then also we have to purchase it. You cannot see. You go to government hospital, you will find people, those who have sold their pieces of land, their jewelry, just to have treatment. They do anything, right? You beg, right? You steal, you borrow, but you have to do something to have these things. Otherwise, you cannot live. You will not survive. Correct? Yes. Guys, have you understood this or not? All.
Yes, sir.
So necessities are those goods which are required for human survival, like water, salt, and life-saving drugs. Their demand does not get affected even when their prices rise. That's it. Guys, we have this session only of 40 minutes. After that, we will have immediately next session for BS, or that is Commerce for 12th, again for 40 minutes. And that would be all for today for 12th. Have you got me or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The second one is conspicuous goods. Meaning of conspicuous means something which can be seen easily. Which can be seen easily. That is conspicuous. Now, there are some goods, guys, which have become mandatory in human life. Though they are not necessities, but they have become mandatory in human life. Like mobile phone, like television, like cable connection. You can find television and cable connection even in slum areas. You can find mobile with any layman person who does not have regular earning. Then also he holds mobile. The same way in middle class families, you will find that because of increase in consumerization, we people consume many things in our life on daily basis, like some snack items or some biscuits or cookies. You can find almost every in every home, though they are not needed for our human survival. We can still survive just with two times meal. Yet it has become a fashion, it has become a trend to keep these items and consume them, and even to offer them whenever you have guests at your home. Am I clear, guys, or not? Such goods are conspicuous goods. Their demand also does not get affected even when their prices rise. Right? So whether it is mobile phone or refrigerator or television, right? Or snacks items or biscuits and cookies and other confectionery items, you will find almost in every family. Am I clear? Have you understood this, guys, or not? Those who are online,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
good. You can note this down, guys. Next is myth. There is a very common myth, guys, among consumers that a particular good available at a place at a very lesser price is not good in quality. So even though it is available at a lesser price at one place, people usually do not buy it from there. Rather, they go to purchase the same good with the same quality from the place where it is available at a higher price. They believe that since the price is less being charged by a supplier, there is definitely some problem with the good. And this is a common myth among consumers. Here, consumers are not rational. I hope you have understood this. Yes or no? So, though price being charged by a supplier is less, yet his demand is not more. And that is what is against the law of demand. I hope you have got this, guys. So, are you all done with this third point also, guys?
Yes, sir.
Sir, 1 minute, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Take your time, note this down.
Sir, yes, sir.
Everyone, right?
Yes, sir.
Anish, you're understanding
Yes,
everything,
sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, next one is, guys, goods of prestige and status. There are some goods about which I discussed in the class earlier also, which are meant only for very high income class of the society. Producers intentionally produce those goods only for one particular segment or class of the society. Producer does not want to penetrate the whole market. He does not want every consumer to have his good, right? Like limited edition watches. You would have heard of it, right? They are meant only for those who can afford it. And producers intentionally do not want every consumer to have this. Why? Because if they do so, the premium consumers of that producer or supplier will no more be purchasing the good from that supplier. So to maintain prestige status, there are some goods in the society available for very high income class people. And since their income is very high, they hardly get affected even though price of such goods is increased further. So demand of such goods does not get affected even though their prices, which is already available at a very high price, even after that, if prices is increased further, its demand will not get affected. Am I clear? तीन चार और हैं। क्यों? आपने कितने पॉइंट लिखवाए? 6। और क्या कंपेयर कर रहे हैं? मतलब आप कंपेयर कर रहे थे? लिख लिया गाइस आप सबने? मानवी,
Yes, sir.
मानवी समझ में आ रहा है? आदित्य आपको? शुभी, Mahi, Anushka, are you understanding them? Then right. Next point is guys speculative items. Now guys, what speculation is expectations of consumers about future price of a commodity which he wants to buy. That is what is called speculation, right? Suppose in market prices of tomato are increasing every day. So yesterday it was let's say rupees 30 per kg. Today it has become rupees 35 per kg, right? In past few days, a consumer or consumers see regular rise in price of tomatoes, and from rupees 20 per kg till today it has become rupees 55 per kg. And every day there is rise, some rise in price. With this, some consumers may speculate that price of tomato may rise further. It's good to purchase it now. So when are they purchasing it? When prices are rising. They're still demanding the commodity when prices are rising with with the speculation that if they do not purchase it now, later it will become more expensive for them. And that is again an exception to the law of demand. Am I clear, guys, or not? Usually, when prices rise, demand should fall, but here it is not happening. This happens very often in share market. When prices rise of a particular share or a particular script, there is more demand for that share because people assume that prices will rise further. It's good to buy it now and later to sell it when prices are really high to earn profit out of it. Am I clear? Have you understood this, guys, or not?
Yes, sir.
Others?
Yes, sir.
Bullion market is the market where precious stones, gold, silver are traded, right? And there is one more market, that is commodity market, where usually metal items are traded. Next point is emergency, guys. So during outbreak of war or any pandemic, which we have seen very recently, that is COVID-19, where we had lockdown for many months, people knew that prices are high of the commodities than the usual prices, yet they were buying it with an assumption that anytime the supply may be cut in the market because of lockdown again, and therefore they may not have that commodity, and because of that they were buying it even when their prices were very high. You all would have noticed it. Yes or no, guys? Understood this, guys? Emergency point.
Yes, sir.
During war, guys, there may be blackout, there may be curfews, right? And with assumption of these things, consumers buy and accumulate goods at their homes by buying them at higher prices. I hope you're understanding this point, right? The next is giffen goods. So are you all done with till point number six? Note it down till point number six. Those who are online,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, guys, there was an economist, a scholar in economics, that is Sir Robert Giffen, and he gave the theory of Giffen goods. And he explained it that the goods which are cheapest in its category, goods which are cheapest in its category, do not follow the law of demand. For such goods, price of the good and its demand are not inversely related, but they are directly related. That is, when price of such goods rises, their demand also rises. And when price of such goods fall, their demand also falls. Have you understood what I explained, guys? So Giffen goods are the cheapest goods in its category. If I talk about food grain items, we have bajra and jowar, though they are also no more the cheapest one. But we as of now can take example of that only. If I talk about clothing, then there is coarse cloth, very raw cloth, meant for the low income class of the society, very low income class. Now, that class is bound to purchase such goods. Why? Because they cannot afford better goods or superior goods. So, this is the only choice with them. Now, even when prices of these goods rise, they cannot get away from these goods. Why? Because if they get away from these goods, they do not have any substitutes available. If they get away from these goods, what will they purchase? Because there is no cheaper good available in the market than these goods. These are the cheapest goods. Have you understood what I say? I'm asking guys all. And that is why
Yes, sir.
rather decreasing their demand or consumption of these goods, with rise in prices of these goods, their demand is also increased by them. So how do they manage it? We will see this, guys, in our next class. Why? Because we have hardly 1 minute available with us. Am I clear? Have you understood what I said,
Yes,
guys?
sir.
All
Yes, sir.
okay. So what I explained, I'm writing this. You note down this as of now. लिखिए लिखिए बैठो मत. You will start writing.